Are we just starting? Yo, what's up? What's up? Hey, how's it going? Another episode of Beyond the Red Zone. We did talk about this start, and that's why it's going so smooth. I'm Marcus. I also host Left Flank Bets. And here with Mac, or Thought Mac Summer, today.
That's right. Yes.
It is heating up. So, Mac, how are you? Other than, wearing the short shorts, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, it's 9 o'clock at night and it's 88 degrees outside. I want to say sorry to everybody. Last week, I was dealing with a sickness. Then I had I got dumped, and then both my kids got COVID in the last 2 weeks. So it's been a banger, man.
Damn, that's country music level.
Nah, bro. Shit. That's why it's Thought Mac Summer. I'm gonna just gonna be a summer of me making bad decisions all summer long.
Well, good. And I mean, as we were talking before, my partner just got COVID, tested positive. So yeah, it's good times all around.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, COVID's over, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what I said. It's like, so like nothing's happening, you're fine, it's not real.
Yeah.
I went outside and screamed fuck Joe Brandon or something like that, and then everything's taken care of. I
mean, we've moved on to monkeypox, so that's the next big one we are not going to be able to protect ourselves from until like a year in.
This season of America, monkeypox.
Yes.
Well, speaking on NBA season coming down to the finals.
That's right.
Celtics and Golden State. So I don't know. Yeah, we're just gonna do, I guess, picks, what we think. So I guess, Mac, do you want to start? What do you got? How you feeling about it?
I genuinely have enjoyed the NBA playoffs a lot this year. I don't care what anybody really complains about. Like when they complain about Golden State, winning 3 titles in 5 years, they had a couple down years because of injuries. But the Warriors are one of those teams that kind of had threaded that needle between leaning too much on older players and going full rebuild kind of with bringing in young players. They threaded that needle to kind of keep this team going. And it doesn't hurt that Joe Lacob, and this is going to be quite the number here. The Warriors payroll this year is $173 million, and Joe Lacob is paying $170 million luxury tax. So he's got these deep pockets, that are going to keep the Warriors around. And I think basketball is better when the Warriors are are clicking, because like for me, there's no two more fun basketball players to watch than Steph and Clay, because they can shoot anywhere on the floor. Clay, even getting over his injuries, like dude is still like a pretty good, wing defender. I mean, look what he did the last playoff game, and then with Boston, with Tatum and Brown, like those two are just ridiculously like amazing. And at one point it was like, Boston sports writers, is it fucking time for us to break these two up? Should we do it? Like they won shit together, and then next thing you know, they're in the fucking finals, man.
Yeah.
Like, and they've just been dominant. So like for me, Boston leans on defense and rebounding quite a bit. Brown and Tatum carry a lot of the scoring load. I think Golden State pulls this out, but I could see it going 7. I think
it's gonna go 7. I think Golden State's gonna take it. But I think we're like pretty much like which teams can get some like third or fourth quarter streaks.
Yeah.
That's basically whichever team gets a third or fourth quarter streak, and is able to kind of like get a good 10, 12 point run and break through a defense. That's going to really end up, I guess like what it's taken. And that's kind of like what it took to be here. Yeah. I guess each team get to the finals. Where, a lot of, defensive wins, especially coming out of the Celtics. But, I mean, this is just basketball in general. Team gets streaky,
Yep.
If you just got to minimize the opponent's streaks. But I think it's going to be largely a defensive matchup. And I think I saw is like it was the Bulls and the Sixers, like the 96 finals is the last time two top defensive teams made it, as in the final place. So I don't know if we're going to see anything like historically different. But I think you're going to stretch it out, and Golden State will take it.
Yeah, I mean,
or another one. This will be like their 7th.
This will be their 4th in 7 years.
Yeah, and this is their 6th final.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think they went to 4 straight. Can't forget 2016 when the Cavs pulled that one out. But I mean, Golden State, it's a well-built team, and if you have an owner that's willing to continue, like just signing checks, like, okay, NBA, here's some more money. I'm not breaking up this team. Here's some more money. I'm not breaking up this team. I just don't know how much longer they'll really be able to do that, because after 5 years of being over the luxury cap, I think you pay $1.75 for every dollar you're over. So, like at a certain point,
it gets exponentially worse.
Yeah, like is Joe Lacob going to be willing to pay $300 million in luxury tax fees on a $200 million payroll?
Well, and I say the thing that might is are they working in the background to change some of these rules? One, but then
that's all part of the market. So all that's collectively bargained. The NBA still has some time on that CBA, and I don't think that the team governors are really against it, because of the way that you can rebuild on the fly, kind of through the draft lottery. Let's face it, you can strike a gold mine with some of these. We're seeing low first rounders, early second rounders. If you're smart with your money, you go out and get that stud free agent. Like, you can really turn the tide of your franchise around fairly quickly. In basketball, it's easier to do that because it's 15 players and you only dress 12. It's not like it is in a sport like baseball or football or hockey, where you have to build a completely huge team. In the NBA, you can get away with playing 7 players. Like, you can get away with that. And so it's easier to kind of hit the reset button, and get back below the cap and start your clock over again. And I think the owners see that, like having teams like Philly coming from just straight, trash to, threatening to win the East,
going ashy to classy.
Yeah. Miami's back, and they've kind of balanced between a whole rebuild and just bringing in free agents. excuse me, but like a lot of teams, like it works for them. And it forces front office people to be smarter with the money they spend. And that way you won't see deals like Julius Randle got, Ben Houston got, Allen Houston got, and these are really bad Knicks contracts. So sorry if there's any Knicks fans out there. James Dolan signed a lot of shitty players for about 20 years, but like, I don't think you see those deals as much anymore. The big question is where does Miami go from here? Because the big names on their roster are kind of older, and the younger players that are supposed to be coming up to fill those roles are getting ready to become like they're finishing out their rookie contracts. So like, where does Miami go from here? Especially when you're paying max money to Jimmy Butler, and I think he turns 34 at the beginning of the next season. So like, typically that's the age where you start to see really athletic guards like him, like Father Time starts kind of chipping away at what you're able to do. So like it's going to be interesting to see where Miami goes from here. But I mean, they gave Boston everything they had in that series.
Yeah, and I think interesting point going to like the owners and at least with the Golden State owner just being able to say like, fuck it, the complete opposite of Marshawn Lynch is like, no, I'm here to get fined.
Yeah.
Is how long before that's just operating procedure for other teams?
Yeah, I mean, I think like a team like the Cavs, you've got a big money owner. You've got like the Cavs shocked everybody this year. They got to the play-in series, unfortunately didn't make it, but that team is built to win, like with a lot of young players. And for me, like Jared Allen was probably the smartest signing that the Cavs could have done, and he's more of a traditional like five, but he's able to get up and down the floor the way that traditional fives can't. So, I think
my hot prediction for the Cavs is that if they're looking up, somehow the team's going to get moved to like like South Dakota or some shit like that.
You don't say that, okay? and if we're talking states that the Cavs would potentially move to, don't wish South Dakota on them. And they got to deal with Nome. Like, fuck that lady, man. Fuck that.
Change your name to the National Guard.
That's right.
But moving on to the next, Colin Kaepernick got to work out with the Raiders. Does it mean something? Does it not? Is this just NFL playing games? For me, I don't think I'd like be willing to say, oh, the NFL is willing to change or anything like that type of shit, or a team's actually serious, unless they sign him. Like, in this, if he's not in pads, it's a joke. It's a game. It's just a ploy. And I think this is like, and they did call it. Did he have a workout with the Raiders like a while ago? I feel like
no. You're thinking of the workout he was supposed to have down in Atlanta that the NFL wanted him to sign a waiver to do. And then he was like, no fucking way, I'm not doing it. And then went and held his own workout at like a high school field.
Yeah. Is that the one where he's wearing the socks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And this is where, for me, it's, you're either signed to do to play the game, or they're playing games. I think the thing that sucks too is that it's like with each day you are out from the game, that's it's just a detriment,
Yeah.
And especially when you talk about the position of quarterback, where understanding of like the entire team and what's happening is much more prevalent. I think it was bullshit that a team didn't just, he should have just been because there's no, he's not good enough. That argument is complete horse shit.
Yes. And I think
complete horse shit.
That needs to be addressed, because we saw guys like Fitzpatrick, get cycled through multiple teams just since Cap's been out of the league. Davis Mills is a starting quarterback right now for the Houston Texans. Look at Marcus Mariota's getting a second shot, and I don't give a shit what anybody says. Cap has done twice as much in the NFL than Mariota has in almost twice as long a duration. So like for me, I think the only place Cap fucked up in all this was he should have went to Canada. He should have played in the CFL. because the CFL is a passing league, like straight up and down. It's 150 yards and you have 3 downs to get a first down. Like if there's any place you could really learn the passing game, Warren Moon did it when the NFL came and said, you know what, you're a black dude, you have to go play safety. And Moon's I played quarterback for 4 years. I'll just go to Canada and obliterate the record books and then play in the NFL for like another 18 years, right? Like, so
you got Kurt Warner coming out from like bagging groceries.
Yeah.
And then becoming the greatest show on turf.
Yeah. He played in the AFL, the Arena Football League and NFL Europa, but like, see, that's what I would have done. And I think if cooler heads would have prevailed when everything happened, that maybe is what would have happened. Right. But even now, I mean, I still think he's better than half the backups in the NFL.
There's no way. And like, that's where too, it's like, if we're talking having him on a roster, and like, I guess like that's, So I mean, maybe we've hit a good like qualifying note, because at the very least, even if he hasn't played in so long, just what he has done is like, I guarantee better than all of the practice squad quarterbacks. No doubt in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, do you look at the backups that the Raiders have right now behind Carr? It's like Jared Stidham, who the Patriots just sent over there, and I can't even the other fucker that's there now. But like, that's a dearth. I mean, you have tenuous quarterback situations in like Houston. I mean, shit, if I'm Jacksonville, why not sign Cap to back up Trevor Lawrence? Because Lawrence, that offensive line is trash, and Lawrence is one bad hit, away from just being,
I think, this is games. I think they're playing games. If you don't even just say, hey, we'll get you on the roster, right? Give you a season, you're going to have to probably give him something decent, I don't think Cap's going to want to fucking jump on a team for like scraps, because that can just like kind of tarnish the name in general.
Dude, he already came out and said he'd back up and work for league minimum.
Well,
he just wants to get back out on the field.
Yeah. Well, damn. Then like, there's literally no reason. They're bullshit.
Bullshit. I mean, that's how I look at it too. Like, they're like, multiple writers cited like 10 scouts that already said he looks better than half the backups in the league.
I'd pay league minimum for him to feed Winston.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that they're going to be teams much better off with him in that quarterback room than not. Like, that's, I mean, he's a smart dude. He's been through a lot. If anybody has handled media scrutiny the way Kaepernick has, I'd like to meet that person. And I thought he handled it with nothing but class the entire time. So, like, that's a kind of guy you want to coach up, a young QB. And not some fuckstick like Ryan Tannehill, who, when, the Titans ended up with Malik Willis, they asked him, are you going to help, like, show him the ropes? And he was like, nah, fuck that dude. And like last week, he was like, no, well, I mean, I might have said something. I didn't mean it.
He pulled out practice, man. We talk about practice. How the hell am I supposed to make my teammates better by practice?
So like, practice. I'd sign Cap in a heartbeat if I was, an NFL GM. I watched a lot of football. I'm still watching a lot of football. I'm still watching USFL. I watch Canadian football, and I look at some of the quarterback play, and I'm like, the NFL is going to call some of these guys. They're going to call some of these guys to fill out a roster come August. Like, what? How can you excuse that?
And that's the thing too. It's like, yeah, right. How can you excuse that? But I'd hope, separate from the cap issue, I really hope there is transitional, there's, trading and stuff like that between leagues. And even, guys coming down, like essentially like, if there's, some players just want to keep going, and like, you may not be good for the NFL, but you can kind of step down and still, like, people enjoy the game and all that type of shit. I'm down for it. I'm down for more games.
Yes, I'm the same way. Like, people are like, Twitter is, it's a you or me type of thing. But like, you have people like, USFL, man, I'm going to stick with USFL. I'm not watching the XFL next year. I'm like, dude, fuck that. The seasons don't, overlap. I'm literally going to get football from February to like fucking July. That's amazing.
And like, by the time July hits, like, you eat, like, you get your now 15 cents less on your July 4th meal. Thank you, Joe Biden.
Yeah,
And
thank
then
you, Joe.
you're right back into football season.
That's right.
Like,
With
what's
XFL
there?
3.0, baby. Let's go
That's
rock.
right. He
You know,
hate
like
me. Let's do it. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna skip over the A's. I don't give a shit about the A's sucking and no one showing up. Okay, don't give a fuck. All right.
Okay.
I've seen Major League. I know how the movie plays out.
Okay,
Right?
but before we skip, I have the attendance numbers for each team right now.
Okay. All right.
The LA Dodgers lead the league, okay, with 47,766 people per game, right? Atlanta leads the league in overall attendance with over 1 million people having sat in SunTrust. Okay, here's Oakland. They have 186,358 total fans attending 24 games for an average of 7,764 fans per
He
game.
needs space. You know what I'm saying? COVID protocols. See, and this is the thing. It's safety. Now everyone, oh, COVID's over. The A's, okay, social distancing.
You want to hear the kicker when you combine them with when they're on the road, Marcus? They average 23,343 asses in seats when they're on the road. So, like, even a team that bad, the home team fans are still like, yeah, I'll go.
Yeah, why not? They're playing the A's, get a win.
But I mean, dude, 7,764 fans on average go to whatever the stadium's name now. I can't even remember, but that's 5,000 less than the Pirates per game.
Damn. I mean, I don't know. Get rid of them. Bye. Get rid of them. I don't know. That's it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when somebody was like, "Yo, where do you think they're gonna go?" I immediately said Montreal. I mean, Montreal's been dying for another major league team. They got the province just built like a baseball stadium, that could accommodate a major league team. And I don't know if you remember, but when the Rays were having trouble with attendance, they were going to split their season between Tampa and Montreal. And then Major League Baseball finally was like, no fucking way, we're not doing that.
Yeah, that seems... Yeah, you like fucking snowbird for baseball season or some shit like that? Like, what the fuck is that? The first part of the season in the South, and then we, comes up in the summer, we come up to the Montreal. Yeah, makes sense.
See, I've been to both. Montreal's a much cooler city than Tampa, so fuck it.
That's never been to Canada. I gotta check it out sometime.
How have you not been to Canada? You lived in as far north in the United States as you can get.
Well, like I was there already. Like I couldn't imagine it being much different. The thing is too is like where I was in Maine, you gotta drive through 8 hours of potatoes in order to get to Canada. No thanks.
And then you end up in New Brunswick, which I've heard tell from Canadians is quite an odd place. And that's the place you go when you don't want to understand what anyone is saying.
Yeah, well, fuck it.
Hey, if we have any New Brunswick listeners, I appreciate you, but you do speak very weirdly.
Now, something that I'm excited to get into.
Okay.
Bowls. Okay?
I packed one before we got on.
Yeah,
what?
Not the weed bowls.
Oh.
We're talking about bowl games. NCAA bowl games. And I don't know, do you want to set this one up?
Okay. So this year, there's going to be 43 bowls played. Yes, 43. Which means 86 teams will be playing in a bowl game this year.
Let's fucking go.
Yes, 86. There are 130 teams in the FBS, which means 66% of every team will go to a bowl game. Now, you have to remember 2 years ago, they didn't have enough teams to fill out all the bowl slots. So they had to give exemptions to 5 and 7 teams that had high academic records in order to play. Now, out of those 43 bowl games, 37 are carried by ESPN and their corporate parent ABC. And ESPN Events, which is a division of ESPN, owns 14 of the games.
That's what's wrong with that? Having a small business, Mac? You get against owning a small business.
Do you hate American workers, man?
You hate
Is that what
the
you hate?
jobs. They hate the jobs. But so, and then like instantly when you bring this up, and for me, I'm okay with it because I hope it transitioned into just a longer playoff season. I hope this transitions into a little bit more robust playoff. Why I kind of don't have an issue with this too.
Except the NCAA has already said we can't extend the playoffs, the playoff duration because it'll interfere with the bowl games.
They say a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes they, like they're liars. Okay, we know that they lie, so they say one thing one day, and then it'll change, right? Because like that thing too is like when I was growing up with the fucking what was it?
The BCS.
The BCS,
and before that you had the Bowl Alliance.
Yeah, and I mean, growing up with the BCS, you needed a fucking doctorate in math.
Oh yeah,
you needed to fucking write your fucking PhD on dark matter in order to understand how this fucking shit works. And so, yeah, and that's the thing too. Is a lot of my youth with it, was. We're never going to do a playoff. This works. It actually is the best model. Look at all these computers. And I think Condoleezza Rice or some shit was one of the voters.
Condoleezza Rice sat on the committee that picked the teams for the playoff the first 2 years.
Yeah. Okay, so that needs to go. That shit needs to go away. It should just be more teams, right? It should just be going from goddamn conferences, boom boom boom, straight into it, right? You got your fucking conference championships and then you just bang 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 go from there.
And see, that's how I feel about it. Every conference champ should get a chance, and then you have one at-large team.
Yeah.
And that at-large team for me should come from the independent ranks, and there's only a couple of teams there now. Honestly, I think all independents should be forced into a conference at this point.
Yeah. I think Notre Dame should just be doors shuttered, completely get rid of it altogether. But the rest of the independent teams, yes, get into a conference. But Notre Dame just needs to completely cancel. You're done.
We're losing one independent next year when BYU moves to the Big 12. So literally, it'll only be, I believe, Army and Notre Dame, because New Mexico State, I believe, found a conference home. I can't remember if it was Conference USA, because remember Conference USA got raided completely. But yeah, for me, I just think, and college football is the only, it doesn't even have a real playoff now. The teams are chosen, who go in to play each other. That's not a fucking playoff. That's, and again, it should tell you how bad the system is. If Condoleezza Rice is involved with it, it's not any good.
Yeah.
Right? Condi can fucking go away.
Yes.
But yes. yes. But we're not getting on that. We're not getting on that platform.
Happy Memorial Day.
Yeah.
But no, and that for me, this is kind of a thing where, hey, look at the NBA and how many teams make it to their playoff. Having some type of this huge amount of teams that play an extra game. Because that's where too is it's less a tournament, it's less who deserves to play to be number one, and more of a celebration. It is bowl games in a lot of ways are just a seasonal, celebration. It's the icing on the cake. And especially, I mean, I remember knowing a lot of guys that played for Bowling Green and getting to, when they got to go to a bowl game. These motherfuckers were really excited.
Yeah, and for the smaller conferences, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But for me, you look at speaking of Bowling Green, they play in the MAC, right? The MAC has a bowl tie-in with the Bahamas Bowl. How many people do you know from Bowling Green or say Oxford, Akron, Toledo? How many students do you know that could actually go and attend that fucking game?
Well, I mean, there's a large Bahamas community.
Okay.
In northeast. No, I'm just joking. No one goes. No one gets to go.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's because it's too expensive. I mean, even for students at Ohio State, they're getting priced out of the opportunity to go watch the Buckeyes, in bowl games, because the university puts packages together that the students cannot afford to pay. So what do they end up doing? They go to boosters, because boosters are going to throw money hand over fist. So you're not like guys like me and you, right? Like, say we decide to pursue graduate studies in Columbus, I think that would be a shit show, because you and I would just get into trouble all the time, but that's neither here nor there either. But say that happens.
You can't tell my mom to be DD though. So.
Yeah. But say this happens, right? Like, you and I would go to the website and then look. I mean, last year, I think the total package for the Rose Bowl, all told, was like $12,000 for the package that the university put together. I mean,
I've never thought about going to a Rose Bowl ever.
Fuck no.
And dude. I mean, and the thing is too, is like, I've thought my whole life it's kind of bullshit that the Rose Bowl, right? It's like the competing between a East Coast or Midwest, but so, like the East conference versus the West Coast conference, and the bowl game is always in the West Coast. Yeah, like it's in Tempe, Arizona. Like, that's not, like, what the fuck? That's bullshit. Put it in Minnesota or something. I don't know.
Oh, God, I'd love to see that. Like Pac-12 teams coming out to
there needs to be like a home and home. They need to have like a fucking Minnesota game. But no, and I think that would be, something that I would be it'd be kind of interesting to see, is that what if you travel for bowl games kind of goes away, and there's home team advantages for a lot of that you could just attach a bowl game name and all the fucking marketing or whatever, but it would just go to whoever the Big Ten teams you start out, you go from there, right? And then
that's a funny thing that was actually floated by a couple conference commissioners, right? Like, hey, we don't have to do away with the bowl, but if we expand the playoff to say 12 teams, we can do essentially what they do now, right? But they would just expand the amount of bowl games involved, right? But then the committee, and especially ESPN, who again owns 14 of the bowl games, came back and said that no, because you're essentially going to give fewer teams the opportunity to go to these bowl games. So why would you do that? And it's like, if it's a playoff, who cares? Like, you're still seeing the top teams in the country play in games. I mean, fuck, dude. Honestly, the Bahamas Bowl is played in a stadium that only has like 20,000 seats. Bro, make that one of the playoff fucking games.
Yeah, no shit.
Ohio State, Oklahoma at the Bahama Bowl.
I want my postseason like American healthcare is. Not how I want it, but how it is. Okay, you have access to it, but you need to win in order to get it.
That's such a damn indicator of our country, man.
You gotta be a winner. You want to go to bowl games? You've got access.
Well, win. I mean, shit. Why not just put healthcare attached to the bowl games? You want healthcare? You want to get seen for your injuries? You just gotta win.
It's the Hunger Games now. But no, for me, it's already fucked. Adding more bowl games, whatever. Honestly, I think the biggest change for more bowl games is there's a bunch of 18, 19-year-old kids that get to have a good time. I don't think there's really a detriment to the game. Sure, some execs are gonna make some more marketing dollars, and then a few hundred roided out fucking 19-year-old dudes are gonna get to you're gonna get an Oculus in a grab bag, playing some fucking game.
For me, this is where I'm torn from it, right? Like, I agree with you on that one. Let the kids have a good time. I think for all they do, it's cool, right? Like, I get it, especially for teams like Miami of Ohio. Those kids aren't getting Oculus. They're not getting NIL dollars. I get it, but the other part of me, which just wants to see a better game. We don't need 43 fucking bowl games, man. And like I said, I'm happy that next year I'm only gonna have 2 months of no football. That's fucking great, right? I love that. But like at a certain point, do I want to see Middle Tennessee play, New Mexico State in a bowl game? No.
Honestly, I mean, for me, what I want is more big games. I want more big inter-conference games, and like you get the same ones that are locked in, every year. It was but you got these rivalry games that locked in every year. I think having a larger tournament is actually giving people what they want. They want to see more OSUs versus LSUs. They want to see, more, like USC's versus Florida's. Like they want to see more Alabamas versus Oregon's. Well, at least when Oregon's, good.
When they show up to play.
Yeah, when they show up. But like those big games that you're only so lucky to fucking get. They could be an every year thing if they extended the fucking playoffs. If they just made it a little bit bigger, you would force it to happen. You know
what the biggest speed bump to that is, and this is what I've been thinking about, is the new NCAA president say he expands it to 12 teams. He lets every, the major conferences with a couple of the smaller ones come in, and we get that year, Marcus. We get this year. We get this particular season where Vanderbilt wins the SEC, where Indiana wins the Big Ten, where Arizona wins the Pac-12.
Okay, Vanderbilt. Okay.
Okay, like, and the thing is every conference commissioner at that point is like, no, we can't do this. And you just see him push the cancel button, and there's no champion that year. Because the way the game is changing, we're seeing we still have these very top teams, right? Like that can't go without saying, right? But we're seeing like Kentucky is routinely winning 9-10 games a year now. It's a basketball school, right? Like we're seeing these teams that shouldn't be any good that are winning football games.
Remember, like Duke had a string of seasons where they're like, is Duke are they trying to switch over here? But
I mean, I would not, the way college football is now and the way things are, and Danarchus, to answer your question of what universe does this happen, it could happen a few years from now. All it takes is a couple injuries and a couple turnovers, and we could have some weird fucking playoff matchups. I mean, honestly, I was shocked they let Cincinnati in this past year. I was shocked.
Yeah.
Even though they had won 2 straight years of football games, in trying to play bigger teams to really get that non-conference look, right? But they're playing and beating who's ever in front of them, But like I was shocked.
Cincinnati gets a good pull. Cincinnati's like one of those teams that's like, hey, yeah, I want to go to OSU, but like, oh shit, Ohio State actually has like serious academic criteria now. There's a lot of guys that are like Charlie and It's Always Sunny. It's like when you ask them to leave Ohio, they're like, know, and they end up with like people at Miami, at Cincinnati.
I mean, Fickle's done
shit.
I mean,
job. Like hell, even like Bowling Green, they had a game day there.
When Urban Meyer was head coach. Before he started trying to finger blast women through their jeans.
Well, that was before he got it on video. Okay, we can't know for sure. But no, for me, I'm down for it, and I think just because fuck it, they really can't make it worse. And then hopefully, you do get those chances for those teams.
Yeah, that's my biggest dream is to have that playoff with just ass teams going on amazing runs, and then sitting in my living room with my feet up, like fucking bong in hand, just like the conference, the conference presidents, the president of the NCAA, all of them are crying right now into their, fucking
Which I want to shout out. Jason mentioned Arizona State earlier, and Jake, like that Rose Bowl with Jake the Snake.
Yeah, 96.
Joe Germain. I I remember, and I was like this. Never again. This is like the last time. Me and my brother, it was like, like fourth quarter. We were like, fuck, we lost. We're like going to our room, mother blah blah. We're just, and then we hear my dad going crazy, still in the living room, right? And he's like, you never give up on him. And like, I think it was like the next year we get our shit kicked in by Michigan. What do you like? Learned a key lesson that day. But that's the thing too, is like, yeah, it was like there used to be a time where, Arizona State was like a good chance, right? Oh, like consistently a good shot, for the Rose Bowl, decent pick. And I think with players being able to get money, and this is something I said before, is the schools that tie into the entire experience. Like when you've got business schools, marketing departments, that are talking to the incoming freshmen about their social media, and they're able to take classes that's literally just creating their own little careers. Those are the schools that are going to be able, like, like the mid-tier schools are going to say like, hey, yeah, you can go to this bigger school, but if you come here, we are going to make you your own brand. You may not like, you're going to make it. You're like, hey, you're still going to have a good chance to make it to the NFL, but you're going to be making money right now.
Yeah. I mean, and I think if you as a head coach, right, have any balls in the because there's a coaches association that works with the NCAA to implement like rule changes, right? Mm-hmm. What I would do is I would go to the committees and literally say, hey, you need to expand the size of coaching staffs by 4, and those 4 individuals aren't there to coach football, they're there to coach NIL stuff, like you said. The image and branding, how to use social media to your benefit. And on top of that, one of those people is a financial advisor who works with everybody on that roster that has NIL deals to help them manage finance. Because the NFL, look, for years ended up with superstars broke until 2005, when during the rookie symposium, every team started sending a financial manager. And literally, dude, the level of bankrupt NFL players since then has dropped by like 80%.
And like that's something the NBA has been doing for a lot longer.
Yeah,
is actually having just like, listen, motherfuckers, you about to get a lot of money.
I want to chime in because this is like something I'm kind of real interested in, which is this whole NIL situation. What's going to happen. And the other day I was driving in town, and I think I told you guys one of the radio stations I get is out of the towers out of here, but it's out of San Diego, and it's a sports station. So it was 24 hour. All we do is sell gambling time. And they had a show with Ralph Sampson. If you remember, Ralph Sampson played in the NBA, went to Virginia.
Yeah.
Back in the Jordan 80s and the Valvano 80s, when that was a very tough conference when you think about the talent that came out of that conference. And they were all talking about how the school is set up to help these young men with how to manage their future. And basically he was there to just kind of sell Virginia, which is where he went, on the school to go to if you need that marketing push. Because they had a whole department for marketing that he was talking about within the athletics.
Yeah.
Division. So I do think that's going to be an interesting thing to see. Like you guys said this a few episodes ago when you're talking about Ben Roethlisberger, a guy that didn't want to go all the way to Columbus and stayed kind of in a small school, big man on campus.
He stayed in his backyard, essentially. Finland is down the road from campus.
And I imagine being able to do that, like listening to what's the kid, the running back for the Steelers now? He came from Alabama. I can't think of his name.
Najee Harris.
Najee Harris is from the Bay Area. He's from a place called Antioch. and he went to De La Salle High School. No, I'm sorry. I think he went to the Antioch High. I don't think he went to De La Salle. Anyway,
is Antioch like? Is there a lot of fucking players that come out of Antioch? Like
they end up going to De La Salle.
Yeah, they go to the big private school.
Yeah, they go to the private school. DJ Williams is from around that area. Well, he's closer to me. There was a big. This is gonna sound bad. There was a big move when before the housing crisis, people that lived where I'm from in Richmond and Oakland, they sold their houses if they had houses, or they bought brand new houses or newer houses in Antioch because it was safer at the time. So there's a lot of
jokes on that. No,
there's a lot of athletic characters in that region.
Yeah.
But he went to Alabama, and he had people coming from all over to scout him. And he, talked about the difference in weather when he went to Alabama. Of course, the difference in weather when he gets to Pittsburgh. And I find it interesting that these kids can now, no longer have to endure the culture shock. And I think that's going to end up being a selling point, because some kids wash out with the culture shock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And stay home, and I have a whole system in here for you. And look, you can be the big man, here at San Jose State. We're D1. We're going to be on TV. And you're the tech mecca.
And I think like part of it too is that the amount of people that it actually takes to make it one high school superstar is not just the parents, it's not just the parents and the coach, and especially nowadays, because I mean, I remember a kid going from my high school, like he ended up playing safety for West Virginia, and I think he might end up getting like picked up on like a practice squad or some type, something like that, but like. Oh, and we also had an offensive lineman go to Nebraska. Like that was like the wild, like oh my God, right? That was like a huge fucking thing. But in the offensive lineman case, he went there and completely fell apart because his whole apparatus that supported him, the amount of people that were there to make sure that he was drinking his shakes and making it to the workouts and all of the things that made him a star went away, and he was just another freshman, because like that's also too is like that cycle of you're nobody as a freshman.
Yeah,
you wake it to your senior year in high school and like you are the number one, and then you got to start all over, and by the time you're fucking 18, that fucking flip is a huge humbling that a lot of fucking a lot of people just can't deal with. They don't have their support structure, their family, their friends.
Well, see, I think that's you just nailed it right there. Is that support structure, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the important thing when you remove a kid, especially a kid who's probably been hounded by media, whether it's local or maybe state level, since he was a sophomore in high school, maybe even a freshman. And then you take him from the place where he feels safest and he goes to the big school where, oh, you only ran for 98 yards and 2 touchdowns. Well, we expect 103 out of you, 100 yards and 3 touchdowns out of you. And then everybody's dogging him on sports talk radio, like just if he's out in town getting something to eat, like, yeah, you remove him from a place where he had support, or she, I apologize for that, he or she had that kind of support. It makes sense why there are certain athletes that want to stay home, or there are certain athletes like Najee Harris who came out and said, hey, this moving from, Antioch to Tuscaloosa was kind of fucked. And let's face it, Najee Harris is a black dude who went to play college football in one of the most racist towns in fucking America. Right? Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, I think it's a testament to Harris himself to kind of grapple with that kind of sea change culturally, but also just saying, I'm going to make the best of it. Now he's one of the most important cogs on maybe one of the most important teams in the NFL, Yeah. He's also been a dude that's like really stepped up, and let people. Jesus Christ, Jason, why did you say?
God damn!
I was trying to be professional here, Marcus. I was trying to be pro. I was trying to be a pro, and you fucked me up with that one.
It's too much. It's too much. But I think Riviera makes a good point too of like even like there's a social media aspect of it that's probably untouched, because like, and that's the thing too is like you got someone coming on like, no, we're gonna help you hook up your TikTok.
Yeah,
we're gonna help you come up with your own YouTube channel and all these things. Because the thing is too is that's gonna be that's the free incentive, right? If a college can say, hey, you're gonna come here, hey, like you're not have to fucking go anywhere. We're gonna fucking make sure that you are making money now. And so that's like a kind of double-edged sword. Not only do you not leave your support structure, but now you get to support your support structure.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I love NIL. I love it. I love that the sport that's benefited most from it is women's swimming, not college football, not college basketball. Women, female swimmers are making a ton of money. And honestly, a lot of it ties into the Olympics.
Yeah.
But they're cleaning up, man. I love this shit, dude. I got a big plan to go down to my alma mater because although D1 is fighting it tooth and nail, our very based senior legal counsel at the NLRB said that collegiate athletes are allowed to form unions now and tie it to NIL. So my alma mater's D2.
And that's like honestly too. That's where. I think maybe too, like we can have a whole nother conversation about the potential for this, but I don't think we've really touched on too of that. Where does the professional unions, right? And I really, really hope, I really, really hope that the league unions are thinking, how do we make sure that the younger versions of us aren't getting exploited?
Okay.
How do we,
This is. I'm going to hit on it real quick, Marcus, and then we can do whatever you want. But keep in mind, Major League Baseball is locked out this year, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know that in the collective bargaining agreement, it's agreed upon that minor league baseball is not allowed to organize?
Yes, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And did you see that multiple minor leaguers, released their fucking pay to sports journalists and on Twitter, and one minor league baseball player made $76 over a 2-week period.
Jesus,
$76.
Jesus.
Okay, now, so that should tell you that the most powerful unions in this country, while working very hard to solidify their positions, are not doing the same for what you would consider minor leaguers. And
that's which like, I don't know. And this might just be touching into like fucking Fisher capitalist realism shit where like people literally can't fucking pull their heads out of the bucket to breathe.
Yeah.
Like, because it's something that just seems natural for my thought process of like, hey, now that these, kids can unionize, we should show them the ropes. Like, why not do something?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I don't understand. Why would you put it in your own CBA that the minor leagues are not allowed to organize? It's mind-boggling to me. And even though that with the new deal between Major League Baseball and minor league baseball, they said, listen, we're going to work to pay them more. We're going to make their living conditions better, because you have to understand, there's very few independent owners of minor league baseball teams now. For the most part, the 3 teams, the single A, double A, triple A, that they streamline down to. There's no more rookie league ball. There's none of that, right? they're owned by the parent organization now.
Yeah.
So the days that you go into the mom and pop AAA team, like say in Durham, which has been an amazing, experience, great stadium, everything's decently priced. And the minute they got bought out by the Rays parent organization, the prices shot through the roof. Like the average AAA ticket now is like almost $28, which before,
which is like, yeah.
I mean, like that's 10.
Yeah. Because fuck, I'm not even a baseball fan, but I remember, we go to the Clippers game, and I mean that was, and then when they were the Yankees,
the affiliate,
team,
AAA affiliate.
Yankees affiliate, and I mean, it's like $5, dime a dog nights like every fucking day. Like
I mean,
it's
dude,
just cheap as fuck.
I live in a town that has the Astros single A affiliate, and the cheapest ticket is $19 now.
Yeah.
For single A baseball. And I'm just like, it kind of took the fun out of it, because like before COVID, they had their first season. I can get like a $7 ticket. They had a bunch of local like brews around. They had like a whole bar right over the right field wall. Like, it was a fucking experience, dude. You went there to kick it and watch baseball, right? And now I can't afford to do that shit. I'm what you would call the poor.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
well, I mean, fuck, I'm going broke over buying COVID tests.
Yeah.
I can't fucking buy any tickets for shit.
Yo, excuse me, minor league baseball owner. I would go to a game, but I just had to buy 6 COVID tests. Yeah. Thank you, Joe Biden. Thank you.
One person in the household gets a positive. Guess what? And now we gotta fucking shill out $100 for tests. Cool. Fucking thank you. Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah, let's go, Brandon.
Fuck.
Goddamn asshole. And to answer your question really quick, Riviera, I don't think SAG or AEA would be very good models. I really think it would take one of the more grassroots things, like Chris Smalls led at Amazon. Because Amazon's such a weird company to organize. Smalls kind of just kept it running, independently. And I think it would take that to organize minor league teams and like Division II and Division III athletes as well.
Honestly, I think that's probably what like Jimmy Carter like builds houses and shit. He just like happy to have humanity. That's what Bernie Sanders is gonna do. Bernie's like after like his like last Senate run, he's just gonna end up like just trying to organize minor league baseball.
Now listen,
he, like,
you sit there and you throw a ball. Expect him to go to the majors.
Yeah.
But guess what?
You're
just an injury away from that not happening. We gotta make sure you're protected.
The richest country in the world, and you got the minor league baseball players who can't even pay rent. And that's the thing, fucking too, is that like people think, oh, these are minor league players. Oh, this the teams try to sell. It's like, oh, these are just kids who are getting paid or getting driven around to play some baseball. They're having the time of their lives, But it's like, no, these are people. These are adults with families and responsibilities and bills and shit. And there's no like, they think that, like at least they sell it as like, oh, it's just a fucking, 18-year-old kid. We're just taking him off his parents' hands for the summer so we can play some games, but it's like, no, like people are trying to build their careers, off of entertainment, and you are fucking them over, right? You are completely just taking their labor and getting paid for, taking that money.
This is fucked up. I got called, I deliver pizzas to keep my lights on, and I got a delivery to the hospital, and there was this dude in essentially his team, workout gear, walking on a foot that was like 3 sizes too big. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, man, I twisted my twisted my ankle at the game. Team essentially put it on ice. I couldn't walk. My host family, who, yes, this is single A ball. Like Marcus said, they're 18, 19-year-old kids. They get placed with host families in town that put them up for the summer. All right. And his host family drove him to the hospital, dropped him off. He has no insurance. And all he wanted to do was get some food. He hadn't eaten since the morning before the game. He orders a pizza, and it was a cash order, and they told him the wrong price, and he didn't have enough money to pay for a fucking pizza. So I gave it to him, and I was just like, dude, don't sweat it. So I went back to the store, and I was like, yo, hit it up with my 50% off discount. I got it. And like, I don't exactly have a lot of cash, but like, dude, like, you don't even have enough money for a fucking pizza. Like you said, Marcus, they're literally exploiting labor at this point.
And the thing is, too, is that, like, thank God he got a free pizza, because he's walking out that hospital with a few $1,000s at least, in bills.
Yeah, that the team may or may not cover. It's up to them, you know.
I mean, the fact that he's there alone, can't afford a pizza, I think should say everything. That's all the support that he's gonna give.
I showed him a bit of solidarity. Like, I've seen him pitch. He's been in town for a couple years now. I think he's 19 now. He got here when he was 17. He's an actually really good pitcher. And I just, like, when he told me that, and I just looked, you know, like I said, I remember back to these minor league players like taking screen caps of like their deposits of $76, $70. And I'm just like, how is this okay? Like, how is this fucking legal? And then I think back to, oh, it's not just America. Major League Baseball has an antitrust exemption. And I'm like, how do we continue to let this fucking shit happen?
Yeah. Agriculture workers and minor league baseball teams.
Yes.
People who shouldn't be able to unionize.
This is America, people. Like, this is the thing that, like, and I'm getting off of sports real quick, Marcus, but like, this is the thing that just angers me. We had 7, by definition, mass shootings yesterday. We have the people who literally pick the food we eat, that the state bends over backwards. The Supreme Court has codified that they are not allowed to unionize, or they make it so difficult that it's almost impossible. We have young men and women in minor league sports where the parent organization says that you are not allowed to, unionize, even though the NLRB specifically says in its charter, all American laborers are allowed to do so.
And to go to the agriculture thing, the Maine legislature passed a law stating that farm workers in Maine can unionize, and government, or the Democrat governor and girl boss Janet Mills vetoed it.
Of course she fucking did. Oh my god, dude. Okay, take us to the next one, because I'm getting pissed off.
The next one is kind of where we're at.
Yeah, fuck it. I mean, I'm here in this space now, Marcus.
Yes.
Okay, let's just go. Let's just fucking go.
So 19 kids, 2 teachers get murdered in Uvalde, Texas. Gabe Kapler of the San Francisco Giants, and there's a video correspondent that said he wouldn't be going on the field for the national anthem as a protest. Commented, I don't plan on coming out for the anthem going forward until I feel better about the direction of our country. What do we got? At least, and so the sports aspect of it, I think Steve Kerr might be nice to mention. Steve Kerr as well, and his press conference where he, just explained how his frustration with what's going on. For me, I don't think this is necessarily grandstanding or, a fake, I feel like there's, we live in a very post-political country, in which case people's actions that they think are political do not yield the results that they believe they should, and like George Floyd protests, like one of the largest protest movements in our country's history, and 2 years go by and only Joe Biden's just signing an executive order limiting some things that have been illegal in almost all fucking police departments, chokeholds and all these things. He only makes it illegal for federal police, but then he's also giving more money to police departments. When it comes to these shootings, which, fuck. I mean, like I remember Columbine. You know,
dude, I was going to MEPS. I was at MEPS when
damn.
Columbine happened.
Yeah, ready to defend this fucking country, right?
Yeah.
Fucking
younger me. If I could go back in time, I would just smack younger me right in the goddamn face.
Yeah. But then it's like with Sandy Hook, you know, and then like Parkland and the March for Our Lives was huge, and then you know, I don't think people are saying, oh, this is a good way to propel my career. Let me jump in on this. I think there's a lot of people who are frustrated to the point where they're just doing things that they are wouldn't normally do because they don't know what else to do. And the video with this guy Kepler, it seemed like he was kind of in that position of, I'm just so sick, I don't know what else to do. Because honestly, too, it's like Kaepernick, he's only even able to imagine his actions with what Kaepernick used to do, you know. And so even with these, like, people are just so frustrated, and they're trying to do something that will hopefully create some type of change. So that's what I see this is.
Well, Gabe Kapler's kind of a weird dude anyway. Like, he was like a 5-tool phenom. Ray, I think it was the Ray system. It might have been Boston. I can't remember which one. But he never quite panned out. Had dealt with a lot of injuries. You know, got into managing early, and I say early because like he's only like 39, and this is his second managing gig. You know, so like, you know, Kapler is a dude that marches to the beat of his own drum. But to kind of go with Marcus, like, this is a dude who's lived a very, I would say, you know, he's lived a privileged life. He's a straight white dude in the United States, right? But there is a certain frustration that goes along with watching kids, you know, like, not even have the opportunity to grow up. And the thing is, we've fucked up so bad in this country that this is normal. This is our normal. You know, yeah. So I'm with you, Marcus. I don't see it as grandstanding. I see it as someone who was like, you know what, this is what I can do on the stage I have to try and bring this to light, that yes, there are people that are frustrated with it rather than letting it go. And like you said, Steve Kerr said similar things in his press conference and even backed Gabe Kapler. And you notice, look at the area where both of them work. The fucking Bay Area.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then has anybody else in any other professional sports town done anything? No. They've put out some bullshit statements. You know, I mean, I give the Yankees this, at least to their credit. They put up removed baseball programming from the Yankee network and put up, you know, programming to combat, you know, gun violence. You know, so that was kind of, honestly, I was surprised by that, but yeah, you know, I'm kind of floored that other managers and other coaches are not doing the same fucking thing, you know?
And yeah, because the thing is too, is like not coming out of the dugout for a special song. Like that's not exactly a heavy lift, right?
Yeah.
You know, like that, because for one thing, it's like they're just trying something. Steve Kerr's got to do the press conference anyway.
Yep.
You know, he's not really going out of his way. There's a lack of imagination, I think, a lack of good examples, you know, whatever, right? Lack of any type of leadership on movements that actually drive to the core of the problem. Yeah, and you just see people who
do you think some of these guys are doing that because, like you said, Kaepernick took a seat, right? Well, he kneeled, you know, he took a seat and then knelt, right? Mm-hmm. But do you think some of these guys are like, it started a discussion about an issue, so we could do the same thing? I mean, do you think there's something there to
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I mean, and that's where like I think that's what they're trying. Yeah, that's what I think like they're trying to do. You know, if I could talk to Steve Kerr right now, I would tell him, you know, like look seriously at what just starting a conversation actually results in. You know,
Yeah.
versus like, hey, how do we actually start building society so that people feel genuine security, because and that's where it's like the loose thing of just random shooting. There's a lot of like specific ideologies that can go into a lot of different ones, but I think where it's like you kind of get the overarching thing is people at the end of their or perceived or real end of their rope.
Yeah.
And so how do you actually create a society where people don't feel that way? How do you make sure people are guaranteed certain things so that they're like there is no fear of economic loss of life, and all of these type of things? But that's not something that I don't, like Steve Kerr or Kepler are really like equipped. These are fucking coaches. These are sports coaches. These aren't public policy experts. These aren't like community leaders. They're fucking ball coaches.
I'd argue in some sense that they in certain markets they may be community leaders.
But that's the thing. It was like I like in a lot of ways, yeah, it's like you could have a coach be a community leader, but a professional ball coach, like Steve Kerr, whatever community work these motherfuckers are doing is NBA or MLB sanctioned community shit.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Like they're not driving like movements for the people. And so that's the thing too, is that like these are people with the platform without the tools really to fix the problems that they're trying to. And yeah, I mean, like nothing against them, like our society lifts up Steve Kerr, our society lifts up, Gabe Kepler or Kaepernick, we lift up these people that like, so we're listening to what they're saying. Why should we care?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest kicker in all this is that because this is so ingrained in our society, like this isn't something that not stepping out from the dugout for the national anthem to start a discussion is going to solve. Like this is going to take a group of people, and I don't mean a small group of people. This is going to take them banding together and literally cordoning off their community and informing, essentially what like, Newton did, essentially what Hampton did. They cordoned off their communities and took care of themselves. And I really believe that's the only recourse we have at this point, because when you see a bunch of fucking cops standing around for an hour while kids inside are getting murdered, like to me, that is a flag that says you cannot fix this.
Yeah.
Right. And then you look at in our legal code, in Black Rock v. Texas, heard by the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Opinion written by Sam Alito said police officers have no responsibility to protect people with their own lives.
That guy Alito, he's had some good opinions, I've heard.
Oh yeah, they're bangers, Marcus. Bangers.
Fucking bangers. But no, that's something that's like, I think it's interesting is that with the state of Texas has a law that says no, like you're actually supposed to put yourself in between the danger and the public, right? If you want to talk about being sheepdog, you got to do sheepdog shit, all right? That is Texas state law. But like Max said,
Texas state law,
like the Supreme Court, yes, exactly right. Yeah, the Supreme Court came in and said, nah. Okay, hey. Blue lives matter now. Blue lives matter, and yeah, and these cops acted accordingly. And this is something that, like, I talked with Jason before about, like a lot of people are like fucking shitting on these coward cops, and I'll say the only thing I'll give is like, no one knows how you're gonna act when you got a gun pointed at you. You definitely you definitely don't know how you're gonna act when you not only got a gun coming at you, you got bullets coming at you. However, these cops don't get to have it both ways.
Hey, yo,
where you're
I know how I'd act.
Well, no, see, and but that's Mac. That's the thing. It's like the first time, right? The first time, like going into it, you can never guess, you can never know, you know.
No, I pissed myself when my fucking team leader started screaming at me to shoot, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I better do this now."
I gotta do this. But but the thing is, though, is you can't have it both ways. To which, you know, you are in the public eye, the sheepdog. Blue Lives Matter, we risk our lives and all these fucking things, and then you cower outside of the door for an hour. You detain the parents and tase them while they're fucking trying to get in. You just can't have it fucking both ways.
Fucking moms got inside that place and got their kids out. Moms. So if we have to keep police forces, make them all moms. All right, just straight up and down. Like,
well, and this is where like the thing is that the current fucking PD just doesn't. It's just not there for you, and that's where the thing is that like it's understandable, especially in this country, to want a group of people dedicated to helping the community anytime violent shit goes down. And that's something that's like, if you're going to plan on living in the United States, in whatever variations of government that may come, you know, the gun issue is going to be an issue. And how do communities, you know, deal with it when it comes up? Probably going to take some type of coordinated armed group, you know, that, and, you know, and so like, how does that work? Who do they actually serve and all those things? But you saw it, right? When it came to Texas, there wasn't any property worth defending in that room.
Yeah. I mean, and isn't that the kicker about all this is that, I mean, we've seen PDs be lower than low the last, 4 years. As we went out and marched, as we went out and protested, you know, as they, you know, fired less than lethal rounds directly at us, you know, as they gassed us, as they hit us with batons. But I think the lowest point I felt for policing in America is when that fuckstick sat there and was like, you know what? Thank God no officers were hurt in all this. No, but there's 19 children that were fucking murdered while none of your dickhead cops got fucking hurt.
Not lost on me that there was 19 cops standing in the hallway. 19 kids died.
Yep. And then what kills me most, this is the thing that really rankles me most, dude. And I think you probably know where I'm going with this, is the fact that the CBP is suddenly the fucking good guys in all this.
Which, this is the wild thing. And like, sports shows completely ended, okay?
Yeah.
There was an off-duty Customs and Border Patrol, a CBB, off-duty CPB that was getting a haircut. And this is the most American shit you ever hear, right? So, off-duty CPB getting a haircut gets a text from his wife that there's a school shooting at their child's school. The off-duty officer borrows his barber's shotgun.
And keep in mind, he probably got a high and tight. That's all I'm saying. He probably got a high and tight.
Borrows his barber's shotgun. And he is actually in one of the initial stacks. So like, they literally having off-duty motherfuckers come there and then make entry into the school.
Yeah.
This whole thing was a fucking shit show.
Yeah.
But like that right there, the fact that like some dude just getting a haircut can be like, hey, homie, like, let me get your fucking shop shotgun. I need to go defend my kids because there's a school. Like, this is America. And I can't, like, it's maddening. It's like that.
Yeah.
It's so fucking wild.
Yeah. I'm tired of seeing kids go home in boxes. That's it. That's where I'm at. Right? Like, no child deserves that. And especially in a place where they're supposed to be learning and hanging out with their friends and feeling safe and having fun.
Yeah.
And now, we have kids who are less perturbed by the fact of school shootings because they've done, active shooter training. They've done all these things. This is part of their day-to-day life. While parents are like, I don't know how my kid could be so nonchalant about this. But this is the world that they've grown up in.
Yeah.
And it infuriates me that in this country, one, I think you all know me well enough by now that I want to see burnt to the ground, recycled at the studs, and then we build something better on top of it. But a country that at one point Marcus and I both put a uniform on and supposedly fought for, like, we can't unfuck this. Like, how do we pull out all this money to send to people in Ukraine, but we can't unfuck this right here on our doorstep, man?
Well, and that's where,
like,
Smedley Butler is the only fucking dead veteran that I actually thought about today. But Chris Dorner got a little few thoughts as well.
Yeah,
but with Smedley Butler, war is
right
around.
Here,
right there,
right here,
right fucking there, right. And it's free online, but it's like $7 for a fucking paperback.
I got mine for $5. I read it once a month, and I jot down notes in the margins. There's always something new to find in it.
This is why, right? Like, the United States is a weapons manufacturer that happens to have, some schools.
Yeah.
like we are just like that's what we are. And the gun, the guns that are produced are part of that, and like the popularity of them directly tie into militarism, the war on terror, and this, operator fucking lifestyle. And like, I mean, today I was in the grocery store and I saw this fucking guy that must have been 100 pounds soaking wet with a Black Rifle Coffee shirt. And like, and this is where it's used, like, where I want to judge these like right wingers based off of their definitions of masculinity.
Yeah.
Like, no, motherfucker, fight me. I'm a snowflake. Fight me, bitch. Like, see how fucking tough you are.
I mean, dude, I got into a fight 2 weeks ago,
yeah.
Marcus. I got into a fight 2 weeks ago, like a fist fight. I was at my dive bar, and I've got a big hammer and sickle tattooed like right here, right? And I've got like a socialist flag and a flag of the International Brigades, and like I've got a whole commie chess piece, right?
Let's see it.
No, I'm not fucking flashing any of you, man. Fuck you. I'm not in that good a shape yet. When I hit my physical goals during Thought Max Summer, I will. I'll do a whole episode with no shirt on. That's what I'll do. And
OnlyFans first, and then we'll move it over.
Nah, I'd give this shit away for free because that's what the people want, Marcus. All right. All right. But this, like, I'm at my dive bar, and it's like, it's in the summer or in the school year. Like, people are coming out like from the colleges around here, right? And there was this group of women that come in. I'm thinking I got nothing of it. And there's this big fucking stupid, like, meathead Green Beret. And that's exactly what he was, right? And my boy that was working the door put him out, right? Like, he's like, you got to go. You have to fucking go. Well, he only kicked him as far as the property. And because of they're wiring it for fiber optic, they marked the property, and it's only like 5 feet away from the outside porch where you can go smoke a cigarette. So this bitch was just sitting there jawing, right? Just jawing. And he's like, yo, man, why'd I get kicked out? And I looked at, like, I'm outside smoking a cigarette and drinking a beer. And he was like, yo, like, why'd I get kicked out? And I asked him, like, why did you get kicked out? And apparently this group of women that fucking came in, they had transitioned, right? So he started making horrible comments to them, right? And that's why my boy put him out. And then my boy Dev was outside with me. And then he looked at Dev, who's the giant black man, and I mean giant, 6'8", probably 320 pounds.
Oh, damn.
Long dreadlocks, tattoos on his face. All right. Big motherfucker. And he decided to drop an N-bomb at Dev. Right. I'm like, yo, Dev, man, you actually have a real job that you can't get in trouble for losing. So I got this one. And Dev's like, all right, dude. And he just acted as my hype man the whole time. Right. But see, I buy shirts with some labor shit on it, and I'm not gonna let some cracker ass white dude rip my shit. So I just took it off. Right. And he's like, you're a fucking commie? And I'm like, yeah, bitch. Yeah.
Dos Vidania.
That's right, dude. I just fucking, bro, it wasn't even that hard, dude. And this is a bit he's got beach muscle and all that shit, right? And I put him down. He's like, I'm never fucking coming here again. And I was like, bitch, don't.
Yeah. Take your creatine muscles and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I was like, bro, we don't deal with that shit here, man. Everybody's welcome at this shitty little bar, that sells $2 PBRs, man. But it kills me that some of these right-wing stupid motherfuckers that talk about toxic masculinity is not a thing. We need to be more manly. We need to have guns and lift weights and do all these horrible things to women like men did back in the 50s. And it's like, bitch, you can't even win a fight against a 40-year-old man with 2 fake knees. Fuck you, dude.
This is yeah. When you look, it's so amazing. It's like Ben Shapiro, Charlie Kirk, and Jordan Peterson.
Mr. Fivehead himself. Okay, so we got Charlie Kirk, Mr. Fivehead. We got Ben Shapiro, who's 3'5", on a stool, and then you got Jordan Peterson, who was in a coma for a fucking year because his daughter made him eat an all meat diet.
Jordan Peterson is no longer able to hit go live without crying.
Yeah.
And somehow, right? These men,
they're manly, man. They're manly.
It's no, just let me fight. If I fight you, you gotta give me your YouTube. If I win, you just give me your YouTube channel.
Oh, dude, yeah. Give us. You know what? We're gonna extend this to any of you fucking right-wing motherfuckers that may be lurking in the background. Marcus and I will fight you.
Yeah. Crowder, bring your gun, Crowder.
Yeah. Bring it. Because I'll fucking grab mine right here. Dude, we'll have a little shootout.
I don't
And when I smoke you within the first 3 rounds, I'm going to teabag your corpse and I get your YouTube channel. And then Marcus and I are going whole hog on that shit.
Yes. But this is all in Minecraft server. So
yes. Oh, absolutely. Because we don't condone shooting.
No. But it's the frustration, right?
Yes.
It's the frustration of these. It's just the lies, right? And this fucking fake manliness bullshit. And this is where too. It's I think, it adds to it. It adds to it. This is where it's some of this shit is just so fucking problematic. And even you got some dude the Dr. Oz, who was running for Senate and everything like that, and I think they're still counting. So
there are
chance, yeah.
That Republican nomination they said could take another 2 weeks.
Yeah, which is good for Fetterman. So fuck it. But
can we just cover this? If Fetterman,
that's
is the great hope here, man.
It's no, absolutely not. Right?
Okay, good.
Absolutely not. Okay. Fetterman is not Dr. Oz, right? Or the other fucking lunatic.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Fetterman is problematic, and
you're never gonna see me jump up and down for a motherfucker that's just on the Zionist fucking playbook. Okay,
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
Literally, lesser two evils. I'm not getting excited. I'm not telling anybody to go donate. No. That's just it.
No, dude, I've literally come to the decision. I will not be voting anymore until I can be politically represented. So until there's a commie running,
yeah,
I'm not doing it.
But either way, with Dr. Oz though, and that's what some of these do. Some of these motherfuckers, even Donald Trump Jr. as well. Because Dr. Oz, he's doing the skeet shooting.
Oh, God.
Right? Don Jr. He's posted all these specific they're like these shooting pistols, you know, and they look like space guns. They're not Glocks, you know. They're not actually fucking actual pistols that you use and buy. They're these specific, you know, marksmanship space guns that like no one actually uses. There's just LARPers, and it's just obvious LARPing going on. But so many fucking people just buy into it. It's very wild. It's very, very, very wild. And yeah, at the end of the day, it's like there's nothing fixing this country overnight. And I don't think that, you know, at the end of the day, this gun debate that goes on every single time, it's just another issue area that's just going to show you that the apparatus that, you know, governs this country has absolutely zero dedication to the people. And what's Dr. Oz's deal? Basically, Dr. Oz's deal was, you know, he's a TV show guy, does have connections. Well, he is Turkish, and so like I think the Turkish lobby actually helped his, you know, political transition.
Oh yeah, dude, definitely.
Basically just, you know, right-wing asshole. That was on TV.
Hey, Gigi, I work from home, and my roommate refuses to turn the AC on, so I wear basketball shorts almost always in my house.
Oh, wow. Yeah. See, I'm kind of in the opposite, where like my partner is like made of ice, you know, and so like I'll be in like sweatpants and like wearing like a beanie and shit just to like get through the fucking day, because they're like, no, I need it frigid. That's the setting. But I don't know.
We've rambled a bit, man. But I think
is
covered...
Jason even is Jason here?
I don't,
because I feel like we might.
He said to holler at him.
Yeah, we have to do some fucking filibustering so that Jason can actually end the stream.
We'll do more Bernie talking about rights for minor league baseball players.
Yeah.
Now listen, if you're pitching in Fayetteville, you deserve a standard 11 so you can survive in Fayetteville.
In the richest country in the world, every child should be able to go. I'm doing like I'm not Bernie, I'm JFK.
Yeah.
I'm doing era minor league baseball. Clam chowder.
We could do LBJ. Now listen, if you don't let them minor leaguers organize, I'm gonna show you my hog.
Yeah, long beef.
You're just gonna stare at me while I take a shit. All things LBJ did.
Which the only U.S. politician with longer beef than LBJ, mayor of Chicago,
Lori Lightfoot.
Lori Heavy D Lightfoot. You didn't hear her quote? This is like a few weeks ago.
No.
It was some like, I don't know like what the fuck it was meaning, but it had like some labor leaders involved. And she was like literally like yelling at him like, I've got the biggest dick in Chicago. And then she like literally says, even bigger than the Italians. Don't fuck with me. I was like,
God damn.
She's great. And Chicago. That's another one.
Oh man,
that's another good one coming out of Chicago. They've started canning Chicago tap water and they call it Chicago.
What the fuck is that? That is horrible.
The can art's pretty good. The can art's pretty cool.
Okay, but dude, I have this thing with like the canned water shit. What's that water that's like hell water or some shit? That like a bunch of like actors and shit have done. It's like in a white can, but like they specifically sell it out, and I'm just like, holy shit, dude! Like, I don't want. The only thing I like in a can is beer. I'm not drinking canned water. Like for me, like the metallic taste is gonna come out if you pull it from like the river.
Like beers, right? And this is the thing too, is that you're actually supposed to pour it into a glass. And I don't do it often. No, but like if you pour the beer into the glass, right, the foam comes up. You actually burp less. You're actually less, that chemical reaction, it happens in your stomach instead of in the glass.
But I can't drink PBR out of a glass, Marcus. I would look classy, and I can't have that.
Which I'm not saying you need to do it. I'm just saying.
I would like to burp less, though.
Also too. So with the metallic taste, you're actually just tasting the can. You could pour the water into a nice Chicago labeled glass, maybe.
Oh my god, dude! You know what we need to do is fucking throw some money together and just get a sixer of this shit, and then stream us drinking it to tell everybody how shitty it tastes. And I'm not sure it's completely water.
An unboxing, uncanning, and Chicago tasting stream. I think, yeah, absolutely. What are you drinking on? What do you got?
I had some Bud Light seltzers, man.
Bud Light seltzers. You're over here shitting on Chicago while you're drinking Bud Light seltzers?
Yeah, they're delicious.
Wow.
Dude.
Wow.
Listen, you got to drink what's in your fucking refrigerator.
I bet that doesn't even have any lead in it. Not like the Chicago. You're not getting all your minerals.
Well, I mean, there's probably arsenic in it.
There's a little bit of it. Yeah, a little bit of lead.
Yeah, I mean, there's some water, cold fermented cane sugar, natural flavors, cane sugar, citric acid, sodium citrate, and malted rice.
Oh, nice.
Only 100 calories per can, man.
Oh, well. Get that fucking beach bod. That thought.
Bro, it's Thought Max Summer, so yes. I got to look good, man.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. No, I got the Founders All Day IPA, which, can I admit this? Chad's going to make fun of me. I'm an IPA drinker.
That's fine.
I'm one of those nerds,
That's all right.
Yeah.
You like what you like, dude. Like, I was the guy that would have given you shit before I went to Camp Anarchy, which was like a 3-day punk fest I went to, like right before COVID hit. And I bought 2 days of like beer tasting tickets, and it was in Southern Ohio, Marcus. Right? Nice. So, like, you had one ticket, you got this little cup, and it was like maybe 4 or 5 ounces. And you got to like go up to the tent, take your ticket, they would fill it up and whatever. But it like got to the point where like there was like 60 vendors from like Southern Ohio, and there was IPAs, there was this, there was that. And I was like, I'm such a man, I only like beer flavored beer. Yeah. And then I get there, it's not the case. If it tastes good to me, I'm gonna fucking drink it. And for me, some IPAs taste good, other ones taste like a pine cone. Like, it just, that's how it is, like. One of my favorite microbrews here in town has a blackberry infused lager, which I love. Yeah. It's amazing, So like, I've really just expanded my palate alcohol wise to match my palate food wise, And it's now I just enjoy what I want to fucking enjoy, man.
Yeah. So, and that's where like, when I was like bartending and like working in restaurants, I like worked for this one place that had like 40 beers on tap and like held like 100 beers in general. So like that's what like opened my, and even it's like it's like the first like man-made drink was beer. So like, I don't know, it's like I ended up getting into it, and then that's kind of like what I said. I was like, I'm like a big fan of red ales. I do like red ales. Yeah,
red ales are fucking legit.
The Hefeweizens, when it starts getting into basically the seltzer beers, I'm not a big fan of those. Yeah, but that's the thing too. It's like I don't think I've drinking like a Bud Light, or like any of that type of like when it comes to like Bud, fucking Kerrs, Millers, dude, and all that type of shit. Like at this point, it's like now I'm like, nah, I'll just take a water, thanks.
Danarchist has it. I drink stouts when I have the money. but when I'm like scraping, like towards the end of the month, PBR Yingling, man. You know?
Yeah.
I'm all right with that shit.
I don't know if it's still. Oh, there he is.
I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry.
We were just talking about alcohol, so it's
okay. I am so sorry.
You're good.
Thank you, everybody, for watching the show. Thank you, Mac and Marcus. Your checks are in the mail. And by the mail, I mean the digital wallet, which is very different than your prison wallet. Remember that.
Jason pays us in Ethereum.
Yes.
We used to get paid $100. We used to be equivalent to $100 an episode. Now we're getting 10 cents an episode.
Yeah, because
same amount of Ethereum.
Yeah, Jason had to listen to the crypto guys we were all giving him shit about a couple weeks ago, last month or whatever. And now he's like, yo, I got you guys. Get this. We don't have to do like Apple Pay. I got you Ethereum.
We can track every transaction on the fucking website. We can track it all. It's decentralized.
Yeah, and then he started going on about, you ever heard about the yacht apes? Like, come on, man, let's get in on this shit.
I don't even want to say this. I want to say this on air. Yeah, I want to say it on air. I won't say it on air. I was going to say something. I won't say it on air. I can't even say it. Joking. I'll say it. Y'all don't know this motherfucker. I won't say it on air. I hella want to say it. God damn.
Say it. We challenged Charlie Kirk to a gun battle on
the
stream while you were gone.
In Fortnite though.
You might as well say it. And
I hate doing shows in this room because you can hella see this room.
It's a nice looking room.
Yeah,
it is.
This is a nice
studio.
comfort, man.
At least the bed is made, right? This isn't my bedroom. This is the extra room. This is the studio.
It looks very hotel roomy.
It is. It looks like a hotel, right?
Yeah.
Good. That means you motherfuckers can't stay long because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah. Oh, us motherfuckers. Okay, Jason. Let me paint something
I can
for
stay
you.
there for a long
Marcus and I
time.
fucking literally found holes in the dirt where we slept for days. All right. We can shit in a bag, piss in a bucket, and sleep on that floor for, I'd say, 3 months without even saying, yo, man, can I get a carpet just to throw down here?
Yeah.
We'd be
It's
fine.
like a comfortable ass floor.
Yeah.
Well, I have nothing to say now, I guess. It came with hella pillows and shit, so I guess it's dope. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. And I just wanted, okay, I'm going to say it real quick. Well, I won't say it. I'll tell y'all. It was kind of funny. All right, I'll say it. Because I don't know how much I can talk, and I'm so scared for tomorrow because I feel horrible. So I know someone around here that was trying to tell me to get into NFTs, and NFTs was going to be the future, and they was going to open up an NFT gallery.
Oh my god.
And they were showing me, they're like, check this out, come here, check this out. No. They showed me the NFT, and I was like, check this out, homeboy. Did old boy that sold you on this tell you that you need to get in on this now? He was like, yeah. I was like, check this out again. Do you think anybody that makes real money tells you that you got to get in on something right now? Like, do you think that's how shit works? And he goes like this. So you don't think if I'm telling you you got to get in on this now, I'm telling you that because I'm finna cash out when your dumb ass comes up in here. And you're going to be holding everybody, you're going to be holding the bag for everybody. Like, you're going to get stuck. And he just kept looking at me like, so you don't.
Jason, I can see it because you got the arm.
Like, I'm like, check this. I was like, all right. Let me break it down to you like this, homie. I made a lot of money when I was your age in real estate and real estate finance. And those are two kind of tangible things, right? Property is tangible. I can hold it. I can live in it. I can resell it. I lost my ass. I was like, you think I'm down here because I just want to be down here? Bitch, I lost everything. I sold everything that I didn't even know I could sell. Did you know you could sell belts?
Actually, yeah. I've been that broke before.
Did you know you could sell everything? I was going to Buffalo Exchange, which is a used clothing store to buy your clothes in Berkeley, with 2 garbage bags full of shit. I was like, and if they gave me $15 for it, I was like, whoo, I'm rich now. Like, I lost everything on something tangible.
Yeah.
So what I'm telling you is what I know. If somebody tells you you got to get in quick for some make-believe shit, this is make-believe?
And
Come on, man.
He didn't realize the bottom had already dropped out of NFTs already.
Yeah.
Oh, ass,
Yeah.
dog.
And the thing is, I don't know if you saw Seth Green.
Yeah.
He was gonna make his own. They did a trailer for this NFT show, which is awful. It was bad.
It was so bad, Jason.
But he got all his apes gone. Right? He got the scam. Someone took his apes.
Somebody took his apes. Yeah.
Yeah, but now they can't make the show because he no longer has.
That's why he was asking for the apes. Look.
And hey, everybody, we talked about how minor league baseball players are being exploited. You see how this man trying to pay us right now? Jason's over here like, yo, Mac, Marcus, get on the fucking blockchain, bitch, so I can get you your apes.
I only pay you with apes. You're only getting apes.
Hey, homeboy was trying to hit me with the crypto too. I was like, dude, I was like, look here, man. I was like, I know exactly where you are.
Oh.
You want to find the way to the money.
But he's like 2 years behind.
You ain't gonna find a way. It's not, you can't buy the way, and it's not for you because you're here next to me.
Yeah. How many emerald mines do your parents own?
Yeah. If you're next to me, homie, sorry.
It's too late.
And you ain't playing ball? And you ain't slanging none of these fools to slang it? Yeah. So.
You could look at if there's a baby. If you are next to me at any point in your life, you're not gonna make it.
You're not gonna make it. Where you want to make it, you're not gonna make it.
Yeah. So Jason, I'm gonna need you to send me the openings for availability down near you.
Which that's easy. Mac, I know like you stick around for but like I've been thinking about it. When Jason gave me the lowdown, and it's like, nah, just get the fuck out of that fucking shithole country called America. Yeah. I was like, damn.
No, yo. I look at it this way. I'm saving money, I'm gonna do a bit of traveling. But like my goal in the next few years is to get the fuck out of here. My kids are old enough. Like nothing ties me to this failed idea that is America, right? Like I'm good.
When people talk about like, oh, the experiment that was the United States, it's like, motherfucker, like why would you use human beings as a variable?
Yeah.
Well, check this out. I was feeling like, because every time I get sad and these school shooting shit, I was just talking to school shooting shit with David Feldman, and it really breaks my heart, man. I still have school age kids. It makes me really sad. And I kind of want to get back and do something. And then my lady friend was here, and I don't know if she's still in the chat. And she, I had to drive her to the airport today. And driving her across the imaginary line and seeing gas prices, that's all a reminder I needed that I made the right move.
Oh yeah. Rub it in, Jason. Rub it in for a man who drives for a living. Thank you.
Oh, brother. I went across. So I told her. I said I don't have enough gas. I said because border time waits is what kills my gas. That's the only thing that kills my gas is border waits. And so I'm like, should I get more gas? I have a half tank. She goes, oh no, you should be fine. It's about 80 miles round trip. And so we get across. It wasn't that long of a wait. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, maybe I'll fill up before I go back. and I saw $6.89 a gallon in San Diego. I was like, oh, these niggas out here tripping.
I'm gonna push my car.
Nigga, I'm in an Uber.
Jason with the harness just dragging the whip across the fucking
world's
thing.
strongest man in himself across the border.
Like, y'all tripping way too hard. I am not.
Hey, you good? Yeah, it's another 30 miles to the gas station across the border. I'm good.
Y'all tripping. I saw that. And I was like, man, I'm not buying tacos here or gas. Y'all tripping. Y'all paying more than $1.50. You tripping.
Yeah.
Yo, Cameron, where are you from in
That's
Atlanta,
state-owned.
Canada?
That's the state-owned gas companies, huh?
Oh,
That's something. That
No,
something.
it's private. It's private too. It's also.
I thought Mexico had shifted quite a bit with the.
I mean, there's Chevron. I went to the Chevron to go put gas in my car.
I was gonna say, Marcus. I think the largest oil producer in the country has been nationalized, but I think when I say the largest, it's like it makes up like 35 to 40% of the market.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, though, that drives down prices wildly. You know, even that, like, you don't have to go across the, because really with that state competitor. Yeah, like the rest of the companies are gonna have to. It's a race to the bottom at that point.
Dude, people were driving to Tijuana to put gas in their car in LA.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the thing is, in this country, we're fucked because the Fed literally came out and said we have to push down American workers' wages because they make too much money, which is driving inflation up. And I was like, bitch, where's all my money?
Yeah.
Where's all my fucking money then? You know,
they're like, we need to take them. There's too much money in circulation. Yeah, motherfucker. And I know who has it. It's not me. Did you think I had the money? Did you think I had it?
But you know the sad part about all this? The sad part, real talk. The cat that was telling me about man, you need to get into this. Look, I'm in it. That's the same cat that is hurting right now, badly. And they're all over the country in the States because ain't nobody making no real money. So everybody's trying to find the quick hustle. And it's that quick hustle that causes people to get so fucked up because they end up investing money in the quick hustle. And when you lose a little bit of money you have, then it's kind of like all hell can break loose. And that's what scares me.
Yeah.
That's the kind of shit that makes shooters.
Yeah, no, and that I think that's like what we were talking about earlier. It was like someone, whether it's perceived or real, hopelessness, and not only the availability of guns, because this, we were talking about, earlier, it's like other, like the United States wins when it comes to guns, but the guns exist in other places. Murder exists. There's, the U.S. doesn't win when it comes to murder, but somehow we're the only country where kids can't go to school, and it's not like, oh, fucking the kid of some the kids of wealthy people keep getting kidnapped. No, it's just indiscriminate murder. And for what?
Yeah, and that's the kind of shit that scares me because I see dude as a desperate cat. He's a good cat, but it's that desperation that gets us to go, oh, well, this is the dream, right? It's like, no, homie. You actually live in a dream right now. You actually, you and your wife are happy in a place you can afford. You actually see your friends. Like, start focusing on that shit.
Yeah.
All that glitter. I hate to sound like maybe I'm watching too many of these pimps on YouTube with Marcus and Matt beforehand. But all that glitters is definitely not gold. And quit trying to chase that shit because it will bite you dead in the deepest, darkest regions of your mind.
Yeah, but what did glitter was his cup.
Marcus
Marcus and I need that.
Well, the cup matched the shirt.
Yeah,
and that's something that I had never seen before. That was drip on another level. That was damn.
But you got to give the man some credit for accessorizing well, right?
Yeah. No, I'm just impressed.
That was some funny shit.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you guys for checking this out. The audio only for this will be up Thursday when it drops on Spotify and wherever else you listen to podcasts. I don't even have that cool thing I used to say back in the day. Remember that Marcus used to tease me all the time? He used to have this saying at the end of the whole thing. Wherever else you get your podcasts.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You get it on the. Well, Pascal always does it. You find it on iTunes, find it on Spotify, you find it on anywhere you find your podcast. So this is Revolution.
This is Revolution. Well, now you guys can listen to a really cool riff I wrote while watching too much Tron. Thank you guys.